Thank you, everyone. So now let's start our second IDI Talks. The topic for the second IDI Talks is opportunities for industrial designs in China. And it's my honor to welcome our speakers for this topic today. The first one is Daisy Dong. Actually, my name, as I introduced, I'm also a Daisy. So we are two Daisies here. Daisy Dong is the Deputy General Manager from S&D, Suzhou New High-Tech Industrial Zone. And we also have Ricardo here. He's from Marposs, Shanghai. He's the CEO. Thank you.
Hello.
And excuse me. After my introduction, I'm going to give all the speakers 1 to 2 minutes to introduce yourself and also your company so that everyone will get some more insights of what you do and what your company does. And we have the next, David Angelibuzzi. David is the General Manager from FMMG, Technical Textiles from Suzhou. And we also have Mirko Tulina. Sorry. He's from Tianjin. I had a brief chat with him because I used to live in Tianjin. And he's from Goglio, Packaging Tianjin. And last but not least, we have Emmanuel Vidali from FAAM China. He's also a board member of CICC. So now I'm going to give each of the speaker 1 or 2 minutes to introduce yourself and what your company does. Let's move to Ricardo. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello everyone, my name is Riccardo Budriesi, but it's better to say Ricardo. Family name is a little complicated. Anyhow, I'm the CEO of Marposs Shanghai Technologies. And Marposs is an Italian company, of course. We have achieved this year 70 years of history, and we are expert in quality and manufacturing process control. We are working in different fields in the manufacturing industries. Starting from the automotive, we move out to the new energy vehicle as well, working in the powertrain part, battery, fuel cell, and thermal management. Rather than automotive, we are present in the machine tool field, so we provide solutions to machine tool makers, to semiconductor makers, to aerospace component makers, medicals, refrigeration industry. So we have a very big variety of industry to approach. The company counts around 3,500 employees overall around the world. In China, we have a strong presence since 1986, and today we count around 700 employees in China, of which are divided in 10 regional offices, plus, of course, Shanghai, and a big manufacturing plant in Nanjing.
Thank you. That's very impressive. 1986, it was even before I was born. That's when Marposs went to China.
We started in Hong Kong and then
Hong Kong is also part of China.
A rep office in Beijing
that
on the
also
same year.
counts.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Let's move to David.
Thanks for inviting us again to this nice event. Thanks to Carlo and also Matteo. My name is David Angelibuzzi. I'm the General Manager of Fil Man Made Group. I avoided to discuss too much because tomorrow, in any case, we have again the presentation of the company. So we are a spinning manufacturing company to produce technical yarn. That doesn't mean we don't produce yarn for common clothes, but mainly for technical applications such as fire resistant, for firefighting, army, or this kind of technology, or for filtration, or for outdoor, sun protection, and all the kind of technical application. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Let's move next to the north from Tianjin. Mirko.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mirko Turina, and I work for Goglio Tianjin. It is a family-owned multinational company, born in Milan in 1850. So as of today, we have the company has 172 years of history. always in the packaging industry, from paper first to plastic since the 60s. Basically, in the world, we are serving two main markets, that is the coffee packaging and the catering and the tomato industry. In the world, we have 8 production lines all over in Europe, in China, North America, and soon we will have a new joint venture in Brazil to serve that market that is growing fast. In Tianjin, we are expanding a new production line to support this market, and tomorrow I will have the time to introduce more if you're interested to know more about our company.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for sharing. Let's move to Emmanuel Vidali.
Thank you.
I love your Chinese name, Vidali.
Vidali. Thank you, Daisy. Yes, good afternoon, everybody. Thanks, IDI, for the invitation today. I'm Hermano, and I'm the CEO of FAAM China. FAAM is a battery manufacturer. It's a company, an Italian company, founded in 1974, and we have also operation in China, in Yixing, Wuxi. We are actually a traditional battery manufacturer, most known for a traditional battery, it means lead acid. But we moved a few years ago into the new technology, in the new production of lithium-ion batteries. We are the first Italian company and one of the first in European company to start the production in Europe of the lithium-ion cells for industrial and for automotive application. So yes, that's pretty. We also have in our group presence. Our group actually is we belong to SERI Industrial Group, a group that has also plastic production and recycling of plastic. And in our FAAM company, we also have a joint venture in South America for the extraction and the processing of the lithium carbonate. So thank you. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. So now we have a basic understanding of what they do, who they are. Let's move to my next question. Who would like to start? Let's start from Emmanuel. Okay.
Yes.
So how do you think industrial design has improved the performance of your batteries?
Industrial design for almost, I think, every product is definitely very important. And I'll try to explain how industrial design can improve the performance of a battery. In our case, for example, depends on, for example, exactly the design that you want to use. In the battery market, there are, if we speak about automotive, for example, there are some users that have cylindrical cell, like a pipe, a tube. Others, they are using prismatic. Others are also thinking to use, we call it soft patch, so it's a little bit more bigger and thinner. And each kind of type has an advantage and performance difference. So in our team, especially in Italy, where we have our main R&D design center, we have tried to design a standard of cells in order to standardize also the production, and in order to create a battery pack that can be also assembled and used in different applications, not only automotive, for example, but also other applications. So the design in the production of the battery is not only focused on the dimension, for example, but also on the saving of the energy. So using a different anode design or a different size of the cathode, you can also improve and change the performance in terms of life, in terms of energy, in terms of durability, recharging. So in very simple words, I'm trying to explain a very complex situation where the design is essential and is very important for the battery production.
Yeah, I can imagine. Is your design team based in China or based in Italy?
Mainly in Italy. So, but I heard also from the previous panelists that there is a trend of, let's say, change on the opposite side. Actually, we are also often looking to design engineer in China and let them go to Italy. Because, especially for the batteries, China is now a leading country. They have a very high standard technology. They have a very long, much longer history than us. So if, like, for example, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, we sent Italian engineer in China to open, for example, the factory, now we are looking for Chinese to go to Italy to help the Italian factory to grow. So that's really a trend. Yes.
Yeah, that's very interesting to learn. In China, we have a saying: if you speak Chinese, we have this 30年河东, 30年河西. It sounds to me like now we are in the other way, that we used to be learning from Europe, we used to be learning from the US, and now in certain industries, Europe is learning from China, and that's why we are sitting here talking about the industrial design opportunities in China. But I actually know that industrial design in this area, China is still catching up.
Can I just add
Sure.
something that maybe could be interesting? Actually, it's not easy to send Chinese engineer to Italy, and they don't want, actually. I don't know other companies, but they are so good here in the battery business, especially. It's very hot now. They have extremely high salary. They are at home. I mean, no, they are in their countries. They fear about the language barrier. So because maybe their English is not so good. So it's not easy to find the good skilled people in China and convince them, even with a very high salary. This is not a problem of salary, and let them to go to Italy.
So you are thinking about dispatching these employees to work in Italy for long term, not to just train them for a few months.
Actually, now the COVID situation doesn't help.
Yeah,
So
that's another story. Okay, thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you very much. That's very interesting.
Is it only Italy or elsewhere in the world? Like, let's say maybe in India?
That's for Italy. For our experience is in Italy, because we have the operation and factory in Italy. So for the moment, this problem, these difficulties is from China to Italy.
Thank you. That's very interesting. Now let's move to my next question for Mirko. You are in packaging industry, and I think when we talk about sustainability, the most impact industry would be packaging, because we are always trying to reduce plastic bags. We are always trying to reduce the consumption. Mm-hmm. So do you think sustainability is an opportunity or a challenge for you? And why is that?
Yeah, thanks for the question. Indeed, we are in the plastic packaging, so on the general view of the consumer is always seen as a kind of evil polluter. But as a matter of fact, in many applications, indeed, this kind of packaging is having a much lower impact on the carbon footprint than other kind of solution. And as Goglio, with a long history and coming from Europe, we see a lot of opportunities here in China for sustainability, consider the policy set by the authorities with the carbon neutrality and the carbon peak, that this will definitely be a must to be reached. And as a matter of fact, in terms of sustainability, Europe still have a lot to bring here to China and take advantage. So we are investing now to take advantage of this, because we think that the market here in terms of packaging, plastic packaging, needs support, and we have an opportunity to serve the market here locally with the packaging that are easy to be recycled and have a much lower carbon footprint. But we are not only investing in the production line, but what is most difficult in the packaging, the plastic, is the aligning the downstream and the upstream and the recycle and the municipality to find a way to have a packaging that is not just recyclable, but has to be recycled. Because the difficult part is to collect and make it this economically feasible. So as a Goglio, we are part of two important organizations in China that are working with the company like Procter & Gamble and other big names to create standards, industrial standards, and actually our target is to provide guidelines to the Beijing authorities to support the transition to the packaging, to a more sustainable packaging. We already got a first result last year in the term of reaching a suggestion in terms of design of packaging, because it's important to start from the design to have a product that is easy to be recycled or with a lower impact. It is very frustrating indeed, because many players have different interests and we have different solutions. So this, I think, is the very challenging part. It's not the sustainability itself, but is aligned the very mixed and distributed and very fragmented supply chain. So, but we believe in this. We just invest 120 million RMB in Tianjin to support this. So we are confident that China will move toward this direction and we can take advantage of it.
Well, that's really a big commitment to this sustainability. And I also have sorry if I'm asking another question. When you are investing in this, let's say, sustainability, does your client, for example, P&G, are they going to invest with you, or is going to be on your own risk?
No, packaging industry is a very competitive market and very commodity market. So either you do it, otherwise they find someone else, because the volume are quite big. So we are not doing within partnership. We are doing on our own. And of course, it's a bet, but we think we are investing on something that is completely new in China, and we think to have ability to keep an advantage in terms of technology and also price competitive, because that is really important.
You think the price, we still have advantage here?
We have I would say Mr. Goglio, that is now Cavaliere Goglio, is almost 90 years old. His idea is always to do something different. So our competitor, there are probably 1,000 that have equipment. Just to give you a number, they have a product is the size of 1 meter width. Here we're investing in machines that are 2.2 meters, so we can have much higher capacity, and we can have a higher capacity, so lower overhead cost per ton of product, and higher automation and quality control.
That's really inspiring. Like, I lived in Tianjin, as I mentioned, for 11 years, and I was actually in similar, not exactly the same, but in similar industry. We also produced packaging. And back then, we had some clients who were actually willing to invest together with you in the toolings, in the design, in R&D. But the investments we are talking about is really impressive. And I think this is why we want to have this kind of discussion, to have faith in the market, even though we are facing so many challenges. I know everyone is facing it, but we cannot deny the market is here and we have the future here. Thank you very much. Thank you. Next, let's move to David. I would like to ask, because when we talk about sustainability, we also want to talk about innovation. And I want to ask, in your industry, what role is innovation playing for you?
Okay, thank you. Talk about innovation is something that is not simple because it's a really huge topic in our mind, but also in a market like textile is a question of life for us. As you can imagine, textile is a big word because, as I mentioned at the beginning, we talk from something basic and common like the textile for the clothes until the textile that we do for very technical things, no? And in particular in this area, the innovation is something that is a request daily. Also in combination with touching the topic of the IDI, also in combination with the design, no? I just make some simple example, but for let you understand, no? Compare 20, 30, 40 years ago, even some sector like, I don't know, firefighting, army, at beginning you only thinking to protect yourself. So you go to take a jacket of firefighting and have a weight of several kg and is complicated to wear and so on. Now also in this kind of sector, people want to wear something more comfortable and also they want to wear something even more fashion, not only comfortable, no? So even now today you see the policemen on the road or this kind of people, they want to have the right colors, the right things. So all this kind of innovation is important for us to bring the right level of our company to stay obviously competitive on the market.
Thank you. Yeah, your comments, I was actually thinking about another question. That is, when you have to choose between functionality and, let's say, beauty, how would you choose when you are doing this industrial design?
For sure, in the nature of our company, that we have the quality and the technical side, for sure we go mainly in the functionality, because at the end you can have even a beautiful jacket, but at the end if don't protect you, you will have trouble. But for sure after you need to find the right compromise between what you need and what the market requests. This is always the trend that you need. I give you one example. In Japan, you can have a very good protective clothes, but the market is not so good because in Japan the rules of government is in order to avoid an accident happen. So the market and the investment is mainly in the prevention than in the protection. So after
That's
you need always to have the balance between the things that you are doing.
So you mean it actually depends on the culture that you are in?
Yes, for sure.
And the different, is culture playing a big role in this industrial design decisions, or how much percentage do you think?
But I think not so huge, but anyway, partially yes. The culture and the rules and the trend of the place where you are. Now we have here people from government, and they can confirm that we need in any case follow also the rules and the trend set by the different kind of governments. So in any case, mainly always there is this as mainly factor of our decision, but for sure also culture influence this kind of decision.
That's very interesting. Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing. Next, let's come to Ricardo. How does Marposs use technology to drive innovation and improvement of your products?
Thanks for the question. And yeah, innovation and technology are really linked together for us. I mean, we being at the edge of the technology of quality control, this is possible only through a very strong commitment in research and development. And over the years, we have developed different centers of competencies. We have our headquarters in Italy that has around 50 engineers only for research of technology, not design of the product. So we are searching the most suitable technology to be applied to the products. And in addition to the Italian headquarters, we have added other locations in center of excellencies, we call, some in Germany, some in France, in order to provide a better solution for our clients. So in short, in our philosophy, you cannot be innovative if you don't invest in the technology.
Thank you. It reminds me, actually, I visited Marposs in Shenzhen in August, I think, and I saw something very interesting that I would like to share with you. I visited your lab, and there was nobody there, but the machine was moving. The machine was doing it by itself. Actually, not by itself, but the engineer, I was told, that is in Italy. And during the night, when Chinese employees are off, nobody was in the office. Nobody was in the Shenzhen office. But they are still running the test. They are still running the engineering. They are still working by the Italian team. And I was like, how does it work? So someone, like, nobody is in this room, but the machine is going to move by themselves. And they said, yes, they have this technology now in Italy. They are going to monitor everything, and they can change, they can modify everything.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, this is one of the part of the smart manufacturing. So
Yes.
today, the concept of having a remote control device from thousands of miles, thousands of kilometers, and the capability to acquire data, adapt the system to the local and the current need is something that is really actual. And it's something we are doing with our products. It's something that we implement also in our after-sales capabilities. So nowadays, our engineers are working often with smart glasses in order to get support from the main location where we have the center of technology for what concerns the repairing or the operating of the system. Typically, this happens during the installation. Installation of the first device could be done by our engineer or can be even done by our client, properly instructed through procedure with smart glasses.
That's really, really something I wanted to share, because I think that's also very much matching the topic today, sustainability. When we have this technology that in the past we cannot imagine having these engineers monitoring or working on this project remotely from Italy, especially nobody was here. And now we can manage, I mean, it was not only to monitor or operate on your computer, it was a complicated test, I imagine it was. So I think this is thanks to technology and thanks to this sustainability mindset that we are having now. And that's why it's driving us to even adopt more or improve our technology to be more sustainable. I got the words right this time. Thank you. Okay, you would like to share more, Ricardo? Oh, thank you. Okay, now let's go to the next round of questions. Hermano, let's start from you again. How do you think industrial design has an impact on or in this sustainability on your products?
Okay, yeah. Sustainability in the batteries, let's say we can focus on two sides, on the product itself and on the maybe on the recycling. So, okay, so this is the main point of sustainability in the battery production. In the production itself, it means use the best design as possible to make a battery safer, with a longer life, and with the best performance. So, as I said before, it's simple to say, but very, very complex to make it. And when we speak on the other side, for example, on the recycling, our capability and our skills are focused on design the system and the full integrated system to recycling the battery. We have a long history on recycling of lead-acid batteries, where the rate of recyclability is very high. It can be almost 99%. Actually, right now, the lithium-ion batteries are, if we speak about recycling of lithium-ion battery, are pretty low compared to lead-acid. There are a lot of technology ongoing, but we can learn a lot from the traditional technology, and I think in the future there will be also a very high rate of recycling in order to make really the battery a sustainable product.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And in addition, if you have to choose, or how do you balance the profitability and sustainability? Will you have to consider the cost?
Yes, of course. Very, very hard questions to answer.
Sorry.
No. Actually, the battery business also is very competitive, as many others. Just for an example, in China especially, they sell batteries like a bulk product, no? Like the, I don't know, the flour, or how much is it? How much is 1 kilowatt hour? Customers in China say, how much is it 1 kilowatt hour? So it's not easy to sell a battery in China, but also in Europe. So our focus, our company FAAM is traditionally focused and investing in saving, energy saving. So our mission is make a battery that can save energy. So while we must do a product that give us profit and make the company grows, but we are trying to give also our users, our customers, something that they can use in a profitable way and save something, save energy and save money. So the balance of it is everything always the best.
Balance and maybe some compromise.
Right. Like Mirko said before.
Thank you very much. I know it was a hard question, so I left it for you. And next one for Mirko.
Yeah. Thank you.
According to your experience, as you introduced in packaging industry, what kind of impact have you seen that the industrial design has brought in to packaging industry in the past, let's say, a few years?
It is not an easy question, but I think that industrial design, I mean, we are packaging supplier, we are mostly focused on product, specific, I would say more on application. But industrial design is actually bringing into play a concept of a user, customer, that sometimes are different, and the value creation. Then I've seen actually I would say 10 years plus, some different application of this. And with the world is changing, the industrial design also adapt. So for who is young, maybe in the past people were going to supermarket to buy things, and now most of the people buy online. So it's changing very, very rapidly. So if I go back to the past when I was working in a company for consumer product, like a dispenser and the cleaning product. I remember that we producing the trigger, the spray dispenser, and our competitor came into play with a good product like ours, technically, but able to sell higher price because their dispenser was having a flat head with a bigger size, more visible, and the consumer were taking it looking from the top. And while for our product was round, nothing written there. So the customer, our competitor, was able to sell this product higher price to all brand owners because they were proving that their product was easy to be sold. And the customer in the shopping moment of truth was choosing theirs instead of ours, using ours. Now, this was 10 plus years ago. Now it's very different. Now people buy online, need very good logistic. People care about cost. People care about environmental impact. So we, for example, as a Goglio, we brought a product that is actually helping a transition from food catering into rigid can, to flexible bag. We call pillow pouch. So it's a product that is a pillow that you lay like a pillow when it's flat and easy to be transported. And when it stands, is also kind of rigid and show the shape, a very nice printing. And at the same time, after use, actually before use and after use, it takes almost no space. So this is a design that match the needs of the market now. And of course, there are many others, but the design is evolving as the market is evolving and the needs are evolving.
Thank you. That's very interesting. You mentioned people are now buying more online, and it reminds me of my experience when I'm buying something on Taobao and it's delivered. When I see the layers of packagings, it just makes me feel guilty. That I wish that they could find a way to really balance the materials, the packaging with the product, because I don't want to. I cannot avoid it because we are now living in this world, but I really wish they can reduce the packaging for the products. Sometimes it's really too much over-packaged. And I hope that there are more and more companies like yours.
If I can add on this, if the brand owner buy a good packaging, you don't need too much protection because packaging is easy to be produced. The difficult part is to deliver it without a crack, without liquid leakage. So you need to spend money on the good product. Not, I don't say ours, but generally speaking, you need a professional supplier that help you in the application. Transport for packaging is very, very difficult because normally users don't care much, so they just treat it very badly, and everything is due to the packaging.
Yes.
So need education and need time.
Yeah, definitely. I hope we can improve in a few years. Let's say another 10 years, there's going to be a significant change on this. Thank you very much for the share. Next one, let's go to David. What are the challenges of sustainability that you have faced for your products innovation?
This is for our market is a very big challenge, honestly, because sustainability, okay, now is a trend. Everybody's talking about sustainability. Everybody likes sustainability, like green, like recycle, and so on. But textile is one of the, even maybe not many people know or image, is one of the market that generate more pollution in the world. I think the number 2, because we have a lot of waste of water, a lot of pollution, a lot of CO2 producing in different kind of step of production. And so it's not easy find a way to eliminate this and at the same time be competitive, because in any case, in particular when you buy the clothes, buy the things, everybody wants the right price or the cheaper price, but reach the real sustainability is a big cost.
Yes.
And it's not easy to do this also in a world competition, because not everywhere there is a fair competition. There is some governments really care about these kind of things and put rules, but there is some country or some area they don't care about this, so you are not able to compete on this kind of level. So what I can say is two things. One, for sure, we need the worldwide help in order that is setting some real rules to protect the sustainability, the green. And the other side, we need the change in mind, because everybody, as I said at the beginning, think about sustainability and so on, but at the end, when they come to request a production or product and they see the different cost, they still choose the other one. Because
Yes, very natural choice.
maybe it's not also myself, several years ago, I don't think so, but recycled product cost more than a normal product. You think recycle garbage or take back something second hand, but at the end cost more than a normal product. So generate sustainability is not simple and need really a huge project from starting from government, from country, from change mind, from change culture of the people.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think that's also why we have the government agency here to join this discussion. Really, it's not only our job to change the world. It's not only the company's job. It's also the government's, every individual's job to actually make a change. And you were mentioning that, actually, I think you also touched on the point that everyone we have been sharing, you have to really compromise, or you have to balance the profit and the sustainability. So it's really a tough decision to make. And I understand the frustration, especially when you are competing with some countries, let's say, they are not taking care of this subject yet. Then we completely lose the competition. So I think at least now more and more people are starting to be aware of these issues and started to invest. So let's hope in the very near future there's going to be a fair game for all the companies. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
And next, let's come to my last question for Ricardo. What is the contribution of industrial design to your industry, to your products for Marposs?
Yeah, indeed, Marposs products are used in manufacturing environments, so are by definition industrial products. And those products are aiming, of course, the improving of quality, and if you improve quality, you can early identify defects, you can improve the process, and so you can create a better efficiency that we can say can be connected to the sustainability. So our products are contributing to this, and are meant to work in the harsh environment of the workshop. And this is something that we are now trying to convert in this harsh environment, this component for harsh environment, to component that can be even used by operator in a more easy way. Before we said sometime the remote control or even some more user-friendly interface are helping people, are helping operator to use the components.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I think that's all the questions that I wanted to ask to the panelists. Thank you very much, everyone. I would love to invite every one of you to thank the speakers for their inspiring sharing today. And I think everyone, including myself, we have learned a lot about sustainability. And also, I think I want to conclude this event by calling for everyone to start from ourselves. We don't wait for the government. We don't wait for the clients. We don't wait for other people to urge us to have this awareness. But I think every one of us, we can start from ourselves. A small step, then we can make a change in the future. Thank you. Thank you everyone for attending, and thank you the speakers. Thank you very much.
Thank you.